So LinkedIn, again, the largest professional network on the planet. There's not even a competitor out there. We have over 650 million members, 30 million companies, 23 million open jobs at any given time. We have over 90,000 schools on the platform. So what this means is that LinkedIn really is a digital map of the growing global economy. If you think about it, as soon as you get a new job, the first thing you do is you update your LinkedIn profile. Well, it should be. So you should update your LinkedIn profile pretty much as soon as you get a job.
Depends if we like the job.
Depends if you like it. Hopefully, if you accepted it, hopefully you like it. All Fortune 500 companies recruit on LinkedIn. And here in Canada, LinkedIn has more information on jobs than any other recruiting platform. So we call this map our economic graph. And it's updated, again, millions of times a day with the information from our network. So what this means is we're able to take this data and uncover insights about how the workforce is actively changing. So we empower institutions like McGill and governments with this information. So we have more labor market information than most governments do across the world. So we are able to identify exactly which industries will be the most up and coming, which skills you'll need to actually access opportunities in those industries. And this will help empower you to make decisions on where you should go with your career, okay? Now, all of this is great, but as a student on LinkedIn, what does this mean for you? These are the 4 ways that we see LinkedIn empowering students. You can connect to the professional world. Most of you are already working, so that's great. This is one that I think a lot of people don't pay enough attention to, how to develop your professional brand and your professional voice on the platform so that the platform can work for you. How to stay informed through professional and industry news, again, those industry trends I was just talking about. And again, get hired, which is ultimately everybody's favorite thing about the platform. So now if we think about it, the skills that are required for the modern workforce have changed and are consistently changing. If you think about where we were 5 years ago, and the skills that were required then, and the skills that are required now, they look completely different. So 47% of jobs are at risk of being automated within the next 20 years, and that's again due to AI, artificial intelligence. So it's not that jobs are leaving, it's that the type of skills that you'll need for those roles are changing. So how do you know what skills will be needed? 55% of millennials and Gen Z workers are looking to work independently as opposed to having full-time employment. Who here has a side hustle, some type of side gig? Yeah. Who here wants a side hustle or some type of side gig? Yeah, same. My plan is to retire in 5 years, right? So again, this is the trend. This is where people are going, right? So how can we create opportunities for people who don't want to work for a major corporation, right? What do those opportunities look like? I don't think we even know what they look like currently. And again, the skills gap. So a third of core job skills in the next 5 years will change. To tell you a bit more about my background, so I'm at LinkedIn now, but my background is in nonprofit and government. And I was specifically working on an intervention measure to help students who are graduating from post-secondaries close their skills gap so they can actually access the jobs that major tech companies across Canada were hiring for. So these companies, they weren't going to universities because they were missing some skills. The students there were missing some skills. So how can we empower students with those skills before they even graduated so that they can land those top jobs upon graduation? Okay, so I wanted to pull these up. These are the most in-demand soft and hard skills. Hard skills is on the next slide. In 2020, right? So these are the ones that employers are actively recruiting for. So these change every year. So right now, the top soft skills sought after by employers are creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. Now, does any of these surprise you? Any of these that you wouldn't think would be on here?
Yeah, go ahead. I'd be surprised at creativity.
Me too. I was very surprised. Creativity really stuck out to me. Persuasion really stuck out to me. That's not. People would think that the art of persuasion shouldn't be up there at number 2, but again, I'm in a customer-facing role. That's what I do every day. I'm trying to persuade people every single day. Right? So these are completely different than the 2019 list. And these are the most sought-after hard skills in 2020. So blockchain is number 1. Cloud computing is number 1. So all of these skills are pulled directly from our economic graph. So we're seeing trends in industries. And from those trends, we're trying to empower you with, by letting you know which opportunities are the most up and coming, and how can you actually develop these skills so that you can access these opportunities. Okay, so again, setting you up for success requires an understanding of the skills. I talked about the skills gap previously. 41% of Canadian employers can't find the talent with the skills that they need to fill existing roles. This is a current statistic. And right now, 87% of recent grads feel that they're well prepared to access these roles, but only 50% of hiring managers actually feel like students are prepared. Anybody here heard of LinkedIn Learning, lynda.com? Anybody here? Raise them high. I just want to see. There we go. So LinkedIn Learning. So LinkedIn, again, we're really great at telling you what skills are up and coming. But we acquired lynda.com in 2016 because we wanted a way for people to actually be able to develop these skills. So this is specifically what I work on with post-secondary institutions. So I just showed you which hard skills were the most up and coming, which soft skills. Now where can you go to learn those skills in a very quick, bite-sized manner and apply them directly into the work that you do? So this is directly on the platform. On LinkedIn Learning, we have over 15,000 courses, and we have over 15,000 courses in business, technology, and creativity. And these courses will help you specifically develop the skills that we have here, right? So what are some courses on blockchain, right? If I want to just learn the foundations of blockchain, where can I do this in a cost-effective manner? And that is through LinkedIn Learning. And all of the courses that we have on the platform are developed from the insights from our economic graph. Here we go. So the sought-after skills I just mentioned, here are some of the courses that we have. Persuading others, some of my favorite ones. All of our courses are designed to be 30 minutes to an hour in length, and they're all made up of 3 to 5 minute videos. We just want you to know the basics so that you can apply this directly to the work that you're doing, right? How to lead without formal authority. Anybody who is in the workforce knows that you have to be a leader at every stage of your career. So how can you do this, right? Creativity for all. Yeah, and then these are the soft skills, and you have the more hard skills over there, the blockchain basics. Again, these are designed to either give you that very introductory level of information to help you develop those skills on the platform, but then you can go a little deeper. And if you want to know everything there is to know about cybersecurity, go ahead. There are courses there for you. Anybody used LinkedIn Learning before? Yeah, have you guys found any use for it? What's amazing? It's amazing?
Yeah, it's really great.
Oh, I love you. So us at LinkedIn, let's be realistic, it's a learning platform, but us here at LinkedIn, we're recommended to watch about 30 minutes of content per week. Again, keep your skills up to date. We release 1,800 new courses per year, so we always have new content there. So let's say there's a new software coming out. LinkedIn is a Microsoft company. Usually we'll have courses for that new software before it even comes out. So how can you gain those skills as quickly as possible? This is a lot of the times why we partner with higher education institutions, because developing this content in-house is a lot harder than just getting it from the platform. Okay, that's great. That's on the skills, why you should be on the platform, what the platform can do for you. Now, how can you be on the platform and get the most out of it? So how to get noticed in your LinkedIn profile. The first thing I had here, I had a little video from LinkedIn Learning, but I wasn't able to pull it up. But how do you actually make recruiters come to you? Has anybody ever been recruited for a role here? Yeah. Has a recruiter ever come up to you and be like, hey, I saw your profile, I have this great job for you? Okay. That is the sweet spot. That is this place that we all want to exist in. That way we don't even have to apply for jobs anymore, but recruiters will come to us. There's, sorry, I was trying to hear somebody speak. There's so much competition for roles these days, right? All the Fortune 500 companies are applying for roles, are recruiting for roles on LinkedIn, right? A job, I live down in Toronto. A major software developer role at a major company will get 700 applicants. So how do you stand out from that 700? And a lot of the times it's by having the recruiters come up directly to you, right? How can you make the skills on your profile be at the top of their search results so that they will see that you are a good fit for that role instead of having to fight with 700 other people. This is a sweet spot that I like to get people to live in. So I wanted to go through a profile checklist. This is Roman. Roman is my superstar at the University of Alberta. He lets me use his profile all the time. He is a student, he's an undergraduate student, but he is somebody who uses LinkedIn to his advantage. Everybody should use LinkedIn the way Roman does. Okay, so he has his profile picture. Again, the photo, very casual, against a plain white background. He doesn't wear a collared shirt, so he doesn't have collared shirts in this picture. It should be a reflection of you. The headline, like we were talking about. His headline talks about where he is now and where he wants to be in the future. His is okay, but because we had a question specifically on headline, I'll tell you mine. So my headline doesn't say where I work. So my headline says, working with higher education to create opportunities for students at scale. That is what I do. It's a reflection of not only where I am now, it's a reflection of the roles I've had in the past and where I want to be in the future. Some people I see, I used to have that sentence and then I had speaker afterwards and public-private partnerships. Spoke to another life, so I took it down. But again, that headline should speak to where you are now and where you want to be in the future, and really be a summary of yourself. I don't know what just happened here, but we'll try that again. There we go. Is that helpful? You think so? Yeah? So Roman here, University of Alberta, that's where he goes to school. He does marketing at Tulip.
Turnip. No.
Oh, Turnip. And he also does consulting. He does LinkedIn consulting, so he has, if you're going to go to Roman's page, this is what you're going to see. Next up, the About section. This About section, I really want people to get to see LinkedIn as a platform where you can express yourself. It's not a stale resume here. Because recruiters, again, they want to come to you, they want your voice to come across on your profile. So use this summary to your advantage, right? Talk about your past experiences or where you're going in the future with the work that you're doing. The experience, this is whatever that you've done over the past couple of years. For students who may not have worked full-time, I tell them to put their part-time experience here. I'm very mindful and very strategic with my experience section. If the experience doesn't speak to where I want to go in the future, I don't put it, right? So again, a lot of my background is in international security, crazy stuff. Not everybody needs to know that. I have not worked in that in years, right? So I don't put it there anymore, right? So again, you can tailor your profile on where you want to be in the future. Your education, so that's everything from, start with university, college, but everything that you've done since then, certificates, additional degrees, you should put it all there. Volunteer experience. Volunteer experience is crucial. A lot of this stuff is crucial in terms of, let's say you're in an industry, let's say that you want to get into an industry where you're not currently working, right? Or you want to get into an industry where you don't currently have experience in, right? Leverage the volunteer experience section, that way you can show that you actually have experience in that industry. Skills and expertise. Everything that you take on LinkedIn Learning will appear here if you wanted to. So again, if you're taking courses on blockchain and you're not currently working in blockchain, this will show that you have acquired some skills in that specific industry. Awards, courses, projects, all of this lovely stuff. Again, LinkedIn, your profile is what you want it to be, right? So I'll give you an example. When I'm in a sales role, okay? My background is in nonprofit. I've never sold anything before I got to LinkedIn in my life. But I wanted to get into a sales role, so I optimized my LinkedIn profile so that it would speak to my sales experience, or to the experience that was similar to sales from my background, right? So I took sales courses on LinkedIn Learning, right? So how to ask great sales questions, sales pipeline management, and I put those on my profile. And then I volunteered. I was doing canvassing, which is a type of sales, and again, it spoke to that sales role that I wanted to get into, so that the recruiting software all works the same. It's picking up keywords, and if you have those keywords on your profile, then you will come up on your list. I hope that's helpful. So these are the components of a profile. You choose the second page. I say choose what works for you, and leave out what doesn't. If you don't think that you need any courses or projects there, don't put them there.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I find the awards part a little tricky.
Is it what, sorry?
The awards part?
Yeah.
I find it a little tricky.
Why do you say that?
As in, I don't know what to put and not to put. For example, an award or an honor would be something different in mentality.
Yeah.
If you're raised and born here, or if you're an immigrant coming from another country. So if I know I've been honored or awarded for something that I see it minor here, shall I put it or no?
That you see it as minor here?
Here, yeah.
If you think it's valuable if you're looking for a job, and you think it may be of value to the person, to that recruiter, if you think that recruiter will understand that there's value in that award, then I would put it. If it's like I won this award when I was back in government, it's like the Governor of Canada Information Security Award. It doesn't really mean much to people outside of government, so I didn't put it there, right? So again, is it speaking to where you want to go? That I would put it. Is that helpful?
Yeah, but do we really know what is good for us to say that this is what I'm gonna look at putting it on LinkedIn? Because I might be interested in something now that in a few years I might get opportunities that were not planned and I might enjoy them. So
Yeah.
it's kind of more encouraged to put everything and let the opportunities play their role, or
If you're proud of the award, if you think it's something that is of value to you, then I would put it. If it's something that you're not 100% sure, then I would steer on the side of not putting it, because you don't want to cloud up your page. But if you are proud of it and you're not sure, then I would 100% put it. Same with projects, right? If there's a project that you're not sure about, but you're proud of something you did, then I would put it there also. Okay. Recommendations, I'll give you the real. These recommendations are great. Okay, so you can get people to recommend you on your LinkedIn profile. I think these recommendations are a bit skewed for me because, you ask somebody for a recommendation, they're not going to come write something terrible on your LinkedIn profile. But they're nice. It's nice to have. A recruiter will again ask you for real references, but they're nice to have. Like, I don't personally have any recommendations on my profile, but I give them all the time. Okay. Was that helpful, that little profile checklist?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to break it down a little further, the different steps that you should take. You have to, I would say that if you're looking on LinkedIn to get a job, you have to show them that you're the right choice. These are the 4 values that we say should come across on your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile is a little more dynamic than a resume. It should have its own voice. So how can you show that you're honest and respectful and caring on the platform? How can your values actually come across, right? In that headline, in that summary section, that's a great way to show what goals you have for yourself right now and in the future. So what do you plan on doing in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? You can actually add that to your profile. Use these a little loosely. Like, again, I have no idea what I'll be doing in 5 years, but have a general direction or sense of purpose and explain that on your platform, on your profile, that somebody will be able to connect with that. Right? This is great for recruiters, but also for growing your network, because a lot of the times your network will grow based on will be grown by people who have something in common with you. Profile versus resume. Again, your profile is, your LinkedIn profile is a little more dynamic, right? It's supposed to speak, it's supposed to have a voice, whereas a resume is a very stagnant thing. Make sure you have a profile picture up there. So members with profile pictures are receive 21 times more views and 9 times more connection requests. It's a social platform. I'm sure on Instagram you're not going to add anybody without a profile picture. It's the same type of vibe over here.
I have a question for the network, because you said connections. Often I get requests from people I never even met.
Yeah.
I find it weird to accept them as a connection. I mean, I don't know.
That's where I'm going. I don't accept them either.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really great question. Working at LinkedIn, I get so many requests from people who just want to like work at LinkedIn. I assume because they don't say anything, so I have no idea why they want to connect with me. Here are the types of people that you should reach out to on LinkedIn, right? People that you have something in common with, people who have a job or work at a company that interests you. So I get it. And people who may be able to connect you with someone that can help you achieve their goals. So can you introduce me to this person? This is all great, but this piece right here, what should you say, should speak directly to this, right? So every time somebody hits send add as a connection, whatever the actual text says, there will be a box there that says add a note. I am a big stickler for people who just send me random connections. I don't know who you are, right? So I don't know who you are. So you have to at least introduce yourself in that notes section, like, hey Karen, I'm a graduate student at the University of McGill. I am moving to Toronto next month and looking to get into the tech sales space. I would love it if we can connect. Sure, that is a perfect way for me to introduce you to my network. Random person from this place I've never heard of, I will never accept it, right? So who you are, how you came across their profile, and how they can help you. Now, I always add a little extra here, and how can you help them, right? So your network, again, it's not just a take, you have to give something back to your network. This is great either in the initial conversation or right after. So you have to give something back to that person. This could be anything, right? Like Roman, the student I had up there, he's a third-year student who has connected me so deeply into the University of Alberta. So I help him, he helps me. So always think about how you can help the person that you're trying to connect with. Is that helpful? Does that answer?
Yeah.
Kind of? Yeah. So again, ask them for a note. Or even, if you want to be nicer than I am, send them back a message saying, hey, I'm not sure we've met before, like, why are you looking to connect? That would be great. I should do that too. I should take my own advice. Some networking tips here. Break out of your silo. Do not start networking just when you need a job. Networking or expanding your network is a constant thing. Okay. Who has the LinkedIn app on their phone? Okay. Good. If you don't, this is a great time to download it because I'm going to make you download it at the end of this presentation. So in Toronto, there's a lot of tech events. So I go to Tech Toronto or Women in Tech, Women in Leadership events. These are things that I constantly go to help, again, grow and foster and feed my network. So again, building relationships takes time. So put yourself in places where your network can continuously grow. Nurture your current network. So you're all part of the School of Continuing Studies. Talk to each other, and just increase value to your network. Building a board of advisors is a great thing. I think it's kind of a weird title here, but the basics of it are super important. So find somebody who can advocate for you, who knows you on a personal level. The strategic in is that connector. Who is that connector for you? For me, it could be a woman in a leadership position within a major tech company. Right? She can be my connector to different opportunities. And the subject matter expert, again, that's someone who has superior insights into the industry that you want to go into. So that person may not be a connector, but they may tell you which skills that you need to be well placed in that industry. Okay, add value. So this is step 4. Step 3 was engage with or grow your network. Step 4 is add value and engage with your network. So LinkedIn, again, is dynamic. It's a social platform. You have to be active on the platform to get anything out of it. So make sure you give testimonials, join different groups, like and share content on LinkedIn, and invest your time. Invest your time and ask people to go for informational interviews with a purpose. Don't just ask for coffees if you have nothing to talk about. It has to be with a purpose. But the one that I stress the most is to develop your professional voice. Write posts and articles on LinkedIn that not only showcase what you care about as a professional, it'll be able to showcase your personality, and you'll be seen as a thought leader in whatever subject that is, because you're contributing to it. I think this is something that's underutilized by students, professionals, and almost everybody on the platform. To give you an example, when I write a post on LinkedIn, I can get like upwards of 30,000 views on it, right? And I don't have a big network at all. Like my network is fine, but it just 10x's your reach, right? So how can you contribute to your network and really get opportunities like this? This is something that I don't think a lot of people see as a way to get opportunities, but then people will come to you when you do this. Has anybody ever written anything on LinkedIn? Any posts? Yeah? Did you guys see a return on investment in that? Yeah? So? Keep doing it, I promise. It'll work out.
It's like a beginner's post. It's like that much.
But the post should be related to the career, am I right?
Yeah, okay, so for example, I'll probably do a post on this today. Like, hey, I came to McGill Continuing Studies, gave a presentation, it was great. Something as generic as that. And then again, you can see the analytics on your post, right? And then you can see people from which industries and which regions are looking at your post. So that is super helpful. And then it'll tell you which interesting people looked at your post, so then you can follow up with them, right? So again, it's just a way to expand your reach. And then last piece is explore alumni. So McGill's alumni page, McGill has a very deep alumni page. So if you want to connect with somebody who is a previous alumni, you can come find them here. Let's say you want to connect with alums in the Vancouver region. You can specifically search for them here, see what they do, and then see where they currently are. If there's a VP in a role that you want to be in one day, then connect with them. Connect with them, send them a message. You already have something in common, and they'll be much more likely to respond, right? I went to the University of Ottawa. I get students from the University of Ottawa who message me on LinkedIn so often, again, just highlighting career pathways for them. And then you should be ready to go. So again, show you're the right choice, build a solid profile, expand your network, develop your voice and add value to your network, explore alumni, develop industry skills like we talked about with LinkedIn Learning, and then the goal is to get hired. Okay, I mentioned to download the LinkedIn app on your phone.
Yes.
Does anybody use the Find Nearby function on? There we go.
I've used it. I didn't use it today right now, but I've tried it before at the LinkedIn Montreal event.
Hey,
That's how they taught us to
We
use
preach it pretty hard. We preach it pretty hard. So if you guys open the LinkedIn app, there's a function in there that you should have on for almost every networking event, which helps you find other LinkedIn members who are close to you. So if you go to My Network, if you're using an iPhone, if you go to My Network and make sure your Bluetooth is on, you click this little guy right here, and then Find Nearby, and then it will find others who are on LinkedIn who are around you.
Yeah.
Quick way to connect with people. Amy, where's Amy at? Oh, there we go.
Karen, is you?
Yeah. So this is just a quick, yeah, go ahead. So this is just a quick way to add people. Like I
Sorry,
have,
could you just repeat the process?
yeah, no problem. So if you're on the LinkedIn app, my network down here.
Sorry, very
Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna explain it one more time. I'm gonna explain it one more time. So if you're on an iPhone, click the My Network button down here, and then you see the little blue icon with the plus sign. There we go. And then find nearby. Make sure it's on. And your Bluetooth should be on. See it? And then, yeah, it's a great way to connect with me, but it's also a great way to connect with each other. Yeah, so, do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, but I have no connection. He has connection.
You have no connection?
Yeah.
Just keep it, is your Bluetooth on?
Yes, I just checked it.
Location services happening.
Location services should be on it. Yeah, location services. Oh, fuck you. You feel me? Awesome.
So I want my network. That's great.
I'll put my name up so you guys can find me, but again, this is just a great networking hack. Every time I leave a meeting, I just turn it on and connect with people right away. Yeah.
Will you talk about the premium version or just talk about
Yeah, no problem. I'm actually
So my question, because I have a lot of suggestions, just go through premium,
Yes.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I want to know, do you recommend premium?
So premium, I recommend it if you're looking for a job. If you're actively looking for a new opportunity, then I recommend it because it bumps you up to the top of the recruiter's
I did send a
list.
whole bunch of them.
Right. So other than that, I turn it off when I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Right. LinkedIn Learning, you can get it through premium, but it's really for job seekers. Okay, so I'm all done, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We have time for questions. Anybody has questions about stuff I didn't go through, anything they want answered? Yeah.
In my case, I have been 20 years in the same industry.
Okay.
So the platform gives me back what I already have.
Yeah.
And the recruiters, because I am in the sweet spot for a job that I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to work exactly the way you have? And
What industry are you in right now?
I'm in logistics.
Logistics. I don't know much about logistics, but I'll give you an example. So I was in government,
Okay.
so I kept on getting policy advisor jobs, but I wanted to get out of government like the plague, right? So I was, how can I position myself to be in another industry? And I actually changed my profile to
Okay.
speak to more of a sales role. So how could I change every job that I kept on my experience, I changed every definition of those jobs to speak to where I was going. So how could I, how could I speak in the language of the industry that I wanted to go to? I took the courses on LinkedIn Learning. I took the courses that were specifically in sales. And I volunteered, and I used my volunteer experience to speak to that also. And then also, in the job search function piece, you can put it so that you only see jobs in the industry that you want to go to.
Because I did.
Yeah. But in terms of your profile, you just gotta change it. You gotta tweak it as you go.
Well, I have been thinking it, but it's
Yeah.
funny because I still get a lot of
Yeah.
matches of like, these job matches are all I know.
Or even try to reach out to professionals in that space. Hey, I'm looking to get into X industry. Do you want to go? Can I take you out for coffee?
Okay.
And then from there, like that professional can help you either figure out how to tailor your profile even more. And then the goal is you really want them to recommend you for a job, but that takes a little more time. So you can just price them for that.